Good morning, everyone. My name is Miss McCormick. I'm the counselor at Colton or for Colton. So today we are going to be talking about goal setting. So let me share my screen and we'll go through the lesson together. So if you go to your Google Classroom for 11th grade, you'll see this as the lesson for today, critical thinking and study skills. So click on that. And then you'll log in with your account. And it takes us here. This is lesson 3, set your goals. So it starts off with a lesson introduction. And after this lesson, we'll be able to know why goals matter, set MAD goals, and organize our goals using a code. So the scenario says Kayla Ronson had a big goal. When she was 8 years old, she decided she wanted to play in the Little League Championships. So 7 days a week for the next 4 years, she went out in her yard and threw 200 balls a day. When Kayla turned 12, she joined her local team and faced teasing because she was the only girl on the team. Kayla stayed focused, and in 2014, she led her team all the way to the national championship. Next slide. Okay, so why do we need to set our goals? I can think of some reasons why we need to set goals. For me, one would be if I don't set a goal, I don't have a new motivation to look forward to. And it's also like a sense of achievement. So for me, once I set a goal and I actually achieve it, then it feels good and I can set another goal to achieve. If I don't set goals, then I feel like we're kind of just hanging out and we don't really have the motivation to reach something new. So a goal is something that you're trying to teach trying to reach or achieve. But why do we need goals? So let's listen to what I think his name is Molly has to say. So without goals, you can waste your talents and abilities. You can waste years of your life on things that you do not need help or do not help you. With goals, you know when to hit your turbo button and where to grow. Very true.
You don't have goals, it's like living life with this blindfold on. You have all these abilities, all these talents, but you can't see them. So you don't know where to go. You bump this stuff. You have no idea what's going on. But when you set goals, you take that blindfold off. You say, hey, that's what I want. And you put all your energy and talents towards it. That's why in this lesson, we're going to show you how to set clear goals and work towards them.
Okay, so like he said, when we don't have goals, it's like we're blindfolded. We know that we have certain talents and abilities, but it's hard to see those things when we don't have goals to teach us or help us using our talents and abilities. Okay, next slide. Okay, so set your goals. So MAD goals is one of the major keys in this lesson. So one simple way to set goals is to make them mad, and it doesn't mean angry, like we're mad. It's to see what our goals are, and we have to consider these two things. So Felicia over here, Felicia, however you want to say it, her goal is I just want to make money. So that's kind of like a very narrow goal to have. It's not very specific. Whereas Jennifer says, I want to make $200 by March 1st. So depending on where you're at, March 1st can be a week, can be a month, it can be 2 months. So Jennifer's goal is a little bit more specific. So Felicia's goal does not tell us very much, and we knew that. We don't know what make money means. Does she want to make $1 or $1 million? Does she want to make money the next week or in the next 50 years? Jennifer's goal is very clear, and it's because she set a MAD goal. So for MAD, when we're looking at it, the M stands for measurable. You give your goals a number or something that's specific. Otherwise, you won't know what you're going to accomplish in a certain period of time. So if you just say, I want good grades, it has to be measurable. You can say, I want to get my C's to B's by the next progress report. That is way more measurable than I want to get good grades. Okay, so the A stands for attainable. So if your goals are not attainable, you will set yourself up for frustration and probably failure. You can't learn to play the guitar in one night, but you can learn 3 simple songs in a week. So if we take grades, again, as our example, how do we make it attainable? You can say, I want to get C's in my classes by meeting with my teacher. My C's to B's in my classes by meeting with my teacher 2 times a week instead of 1 time a week. Okay, so that's more attainable. You know that your teacher is going to be willing to meet with you, and they'll provide more support and resources to help you get your C's up to B's. Okay, deadline driven is the D in MAD. So without a deadline, you're not going to feel a sense of urgency to reach your goal. So if I said I wanted to make $80,000 in a year, or at the end of the year, at least there's a deadline for the end of the year. So again, going back to your goals, you can set, I want to get my C's to B's by the next progress report. So whether that's a month, 2 months, or if you want to do it by semesters, get my C's to B's, my semester 1 grades up to B's by semester 2. So whenever possible, make your goals MAD goals, which means measurable, attainable, and deadline driven. So that way you have a clear target. When you have a more specific goal, it's easier to meet that goal than one that's just kind of out in the open and it's general. So those are using your MAD goals will kind of help set you up for success. Okay, so now we're going to go on to creating our code. If goals only live in your head, you'll forget them. But if you write your goals down, you can look at them and review your progress. You can share your goals with others. So there's been a lot of studies that show when you write down your goals, you're way more likely to achieve those goals than if you just have them in the back of your mind. So a simple way to create your goals is to use an image called the code. The code has 2 parts, the inner code and the outer code. The inner code, you will set 3 goals for your character, beliefs, and values. For the outer code, you will set goals for your classes, extracurricular activities, and your personal life. So your inner code, in your inner goals box, you'll write 3 simple goals for who you want to be on the inside. You can share mottos, dreams, faith, or some other character quality that you want to have. Each goal should have a short sentence. So here's some examples. 4 inner goals. It says, be creative, have a different way of thinking, keep trying, don't sit around and be lazy, work until you're tired. Okay, and then some other inner goals are be loyal, friendly, adventurous, things like that. Those are some inner goals to have. Okay, so now moving on to our outer goals. On the bottom half of your code, you'll write the outer goals for things like your grades, hobbies, and personal life. To set your goals, complete the 3 categories below. So you're going to categorize into school goals, activity goals, and then personal goals. So school goals would obviously be things like good grades. Activities goals could be like hobbies, like if you like to skateboard or if you like to draw or paint, those are activity goals. And then personal goals, maybe you're involved in an outside club or something for church. Those would be those things. So actually, let's click on these. So school goals would be grades, college, career path. So sometimes if you don't want to go to college, then at least start thinking about what you could see yourself doing for a career. What things are interesting for you, what things are you passionate about. Think about those types of things, and that should help guide you to a career or college, depending on what you choose to do or you want to do. Activities include sports clubs, hobbies, community groups, religious, or service. So like community service or church. And then personal goals, family, friends, health, and religion. Okay, so an example of a completed code would be something like this. So here we have the inner goal on top, and it says, be creative, have a different way of thinking, keep trying because nothing is impossible, and then don't sit around to be lazy, work until you're tired. And then for outer, you have your 3 categories, which is school, activities, and your personal. So for school, I would like to go to college. And then for activities, I can't read what it says. But let's say for activities, if you're in baseball, go to baseball practice 3 times a week, or play practice throwing and catching with my brother or dad or sister, whoever, 3 times a week. And then outer goals. Oh, sorry, we're on outer goals. For personal, so someone says, I want to find a girlfriend, boyfriend, not be afraid to go out and make more friends. If you want to personal, if maybe you want to Be more active. Maybe you want to go for walks with your family. Maybe you want to eat a little bit healthier, better, make those choices. Those would be part of your outer goals. Okay, slide 6 of 7. Post your code. So do you know why companies like Coke and Nike keep advertising to you day after week after week, year after year? It's because you'll forget them if they don't remind you. So same thing with commercials. We see lots of commercials and they're posting their brand constantly, and you might see the same commercials every time you watch TV. It's because they're constantly reminding you of their brand. So it's the same thing with our goals. When we write them down and we constantly remind ourselves of them, we're going to be more likely to achieve them. Okay, so here are just some 3 ninja tricks for remembering your code. So post it. Post your code where you'll see it every day. You can put it in your room, on your locker, in your car, or you can make it a lock screen on your phone or your computer. Share it. Share your code with others. Share it with family, friends, teacher, counselor, or other people you know, and they'll keep you accountable or help remind you to help, they'll help remind you to accomplish that goal or work towards that goal. And then journal. Keep a notebook where you track your goals for 5 minutes every day. You can wake up and do it first thing in the morning, and it keeps you motivated, and you kind of have that as a reminder for the rest of your day, or you can do it at the end of the day before you go to sleep. So set your goals and take small steps every single day, and you'll amaze yourself how much you can accomplish with those goals. Okay, so a quick summary of this lesson. We set some personal and academic goals. We learned how to make our goals MAD, which is measurable, attainable, and deadline driven. And then we also learned about the code. So we have our inner and outer code, and let's see some goals for our inner code. So enter 3 things for your inner code. Your inner code consists of things like your beliefs, your attitudes, and habits. And then once you do that, you'll do some goals for your outer code. So again, your outer code consists of 3 categories, which are your school code, your activities, and then your personal. And then you'll just enter your name and then complete it and submit it. Thank you all for joining today. I hope it was helpful. And don't forget to do this last piece of it so we know who has submitted it. And also feel free to email Miss Fleischer or myself if you need help with anything. And I hope you all have an amazing weekend.